Learn everything you need to know about the U.S. agricultural system, growing your own food, and being an urban farmer. Watch the full interview with Michaih Hall now at ineverknewtv.com premium. Want to say welcome to Michaih, the pharmacist from Free Haven Farms. Fire, what's going on?
Bless up. Glad to be here. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Finally.
No, a serious thing, trying to connect for a little bit. And for those unaware, the man blessed me with some Scotch bonnet peppers that he made that we will be using to hot up the pot later on. So I want to get right into it, right? For those unaware, please explain the difference between genetically modified food, organic food, and why pesticides are so dangerous.
Okay, so it's a loaded question, but I'm going to try to make it concise. All right. So, GMO stands for genetically modified organisms. Now they've changed the terminology. It's called bioengineered food. Okay. What bioengineered food is, what GMO food is when you alter the actual DNA of the plant, all right, the actual chromosome. So in a laboratory, they're able to at a cellular level alter the DNA and the chromosomes within the plant so that it can do specific targeted things.
Is there any nutritional value in GMO?
There's nutritional value. There's gonna be nutritional value. Is there a difference in nutritional value? Some would argue yes, but that's gonna depend not on the seed. It's gonna depend more on the way that plant is being grown. Okay, so it's more the danger of what happens to the people that ingest that food that's been altered at a cellular level, of how it can affect us. Now, with organic food, it's food that hasn't, it's natural. So there is no altering that's happened to it.
And also, could you delve more into organic? Because I hear
Yeah.
different things. I hear some organic still has pesticide on it, but it's not to the level of other things. Can you clarify that, please?
So let's be clear. Organic is a label. It's a label on the food. You know what I'm saying? Do you know it's organic? Do I know it's organic? We hope it's organic. That's that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? We got our fingers crossed. We praying. You know what I'm saying? But we weren't there when it was planted. We weren't there when it was watered. We weren't there to see what kind of fertilizer was. We don't know those things. What we rely on is a system that was created that come on, guy. Is a system that was created to regulate organic certification, right? And this regulation involves organic farms being inspected and having to adhere to certain growing practices. So there's certain chemicals that they are not allowed to use. There's some that they are allowed to use. Some of them that they're not allowed to use can change from year to year based on, I don't know, some lobbying that was done. So it could get tricky, you know what I'm saying? And but is it better than what you have, like the options that are available? Of the options that are available in front of you at the store, it is the best of those. Because the fact that there's any kind of regulation going on with it creates more safety to you as the consumer to know that they're supposed to not be spraying pesticides and certain chemicals on this food. There's a documentary on YouTube from this Dr. Zach Bush on chemical farming. Anyways, he did a lot. He does a lot of study and research on glyphosate, and there's another one from Dr. Tyrone Hayes on atrazine, right? And so these are chemicals that are heavily used on our produce, We've all been exposed to these chemicals, all of us, like it or not, because it's in groundwater. It's everywhere. They spray something like, I don't know, it's over 2 billion pounds of glyphosate on food a year. 4 billion pounds of glyphosate a year in the U.S.
And what are some of the dangers of that chemical or documented
Yeah, and
dangers?
so as you're gonna see when you start to do your research, like this is like the and like I said, some of this research and information is suppressed. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I appreciate that Dr. Zach Bush, because he's put his life on the line to bring forth really some truths about glyphosate and its connection to cancer, its connection to Alzheimer's, its connection to dementia, its connection to autism, its connection to so many things. And he's been able to do some great research, documented, to show at what time we started to use these products in our agriculture, and the direct correlation with the spike in these immune disorders, and all these diseases, all these problems, that were kind of on the have since been like directly connected, with how much we're being exposed to this and how much these things spike. And I'm not gonna be the one to say, like, I'm not the professional in that aspect of things. All I can do is know from my own personal experience, and there are certain facts that can't be argued, like the nutritional content of food. So that's something that I'm like, I control what I can control, and the nutritional content of food differs. Like I said, sometimes with the organic food, maybe as opposed to conventional food that would be sprayed, and that has to do with the soil and how much health is in the soil. And when you grow your food a certain way, sustainable agriculture, regenerative agriculture, organic agriculture, you pay attention to these details of the soil. And you do things to build your soil up in a natural way without using harmful fertilizers that actually deplete your soil and kill the life in the soil and make you dependent on the fertilizers. That's the plants get their nutrients, their vitamins, their minerals, their life, their energy from the soil. They eat from the dirt. So if the dirt ain't right, the plants ain't gonna be right. The plants ain't right, the people ain't gonna be right. They say that you have to eat something like 6 oranges today to equal the same nutritional value of what one orange was like in 1950. That's not that long ago. What do you think it is 30, 20 years from now? Like at that rate. And so there's a lot of little nuances that we teach and that we pay attention to at Free Haven Farms, to, like I said, educate people, because education is key. And as you become educated, now you can make informed decisions about how you want to move. Because honestly and truly, the only way you can know it's organic is if you grow it, or if you know your farm, like really know your farm. I'll be like, this is how I grow my food. I'll show you. Come over to the farm. We do a workshop. Let me teach you. That's transparency that you want to be able to have with your farmer. You want to be able to ask them, do you spray glyphosate on your food, without him getting offended? And if he gets offended by you asking him if he sprays glyphosate on his food, then you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I need to deal with you, because I'm asking questions pertaining to my health. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only real way you're gonna know if it's organic outside of the label. You know what I'm saying? But yes, you got an organic certification that are gonna regulate your farm. They're gonna come and inspect your farm. I know as a farmer what those inspections look like. It's limited in how much they can inspect. If it's scheduled, I know you're coming. It's easy for me to set it up for your inspection. If I got 100 acres, you're only gonna look at a quarter of an acre. You know what I'm saying? It's so, you feel me? At the end of the day, what we really want to be doing is growing our own food.